Hi, today I want to discuss my miraculous healing session for migraine headaches from a good friend of mine and my old client. And before going into all that, um, uh, let me do the introductions. I am Osman. I'm an energy healer on a master level um, with telepathic capabilities and specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, and also amongst other host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments, especially treating the adverse effects of involuntary Kundalini awakening. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. And in that period, having studied under various masters from different schools of thought, and I extracted the best of the knowledge from there, created my own simplified protocols designed for the 21st century, which is faster, more effective, and taking less time in a day to attain to reach better results, right, than those who are spending many hours in it. For more information on my services, please visit my website yogawellness786.com. And also remember, my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So coming back to my treatment of migraine headaches, this was a previous client of mine that I addressed. He had extreme depression and anxiety, chronic on a chronic level, under medications, and still is under medication. I always say, do not leave and abandon medical therapy. Medical therapy is your responsibility. Is the first. Whatever I'm doing is complementary. It's not a replacement for medical treatment. When a doctor says you no longer need it, then but you don't self say, I'm not feeling anxiety and depression anymore. I don't want to take these medications anymore. Get that information and that prescription from the doctor. Let the doctor say yes, you can stop it, or no, you should continue, right? Because they know better, in your health. So this is a patient that previously that I resolved his extreme anxiety, depression, and many psychological problems. Yeah, it normally comes together with many host of like schizophrenia, paranoia, and all these things comes into the play, and it all is fine from all that back to he feels normal, but because it's like a wound that's open up, he always, when he encounters certain negative emotional circumstances in life, it affects him very badly, right? And it's not easy for him to come out of it. That's why, because he's got the chronic condition, and determined by doctors, right? So coming back, it's the same patient. He started to experience migraine headaches, and then he used the medication, the best medication he could find. For the first day, it didn't go. Second day, it wasn't going, right? That's when he approached me. I said, okay, I'll do the healing. And he's in a different continent, different country, not even a neighboring country, many miles away, many thousands of miles away, right? He's located in the city of London, and I had to do it telepathically. So it took, I did the full protocol, right? I did the full protocol that I would do for healing, which took me, in his case, there were different people take different amount of time. In some people it takes me 45 minutes to do the same thing, and other people it took me with him, I think 1 hour and 10 minutes, right? But normally it takes 45 minutes. But the energy works differently for different people. And I just do a fixed number, 50 rounds of, a certain type of breath work and energy transference. And it just that it takes longer. I don't understand how come, right? Because I'm into it, and I'm on a different. I raise my psychology to the theta frequency, right? And I go into the theta frequency and remain in the, and sometimes slipping into delta as well, during the healing sessions, and that's why probably losing track of time, right? Because in delta, it's like you can't, you don't experience the passage of time. So I did that, the full thing, but he felt the relief within 4 minutes, because I always record what time I'm starting, what time I'm saying. So I, according to my time, started at 5:41 a.m. and I ended at 6:51 a.m. And in his time was 4:41 4:41 a.m. And he said by 4:45 it was gone. And even later in the day when I spoke to him, it didn't come back. And the next day when I spoke to him, it didn't yet come back. And it's he says no, it's gone, it's not there. And he was complaining, it's not going, it's so severe, all the medications I'm taking, it's not going. So this is how powerful it is. So normally I don't take it's not that quick for me. It used to take me very long in the past, but I'm someone who's always practicing on improving my energy levels on a daily basis, right? I spend a lot of time practicing. I don't just do the healing, I also practice on fine tuning in sharpening the sword, right? Because I believe very strongly in Stephen Covey's uh, seven habits of highly successful people, and one of the habits is sharpening the sword. Whatever you have your capability, always keep working on improving it. And I keep improving it. In the past 6 years, from the time I reached the master level in 2019 to now, I've daily been practicing on improving, and I've been incrementally improving. Initially, it was on a monthly basis, then it was on a fortnightly basis, sometimes it was weekly. I noticed myself going to the next increment higher. And even now, I mean, the increment level that I'm on 2 weeks ago, I wasn't on this level of energy, right? It's the highest ever that I've been on. And every time it's always the highest ever I've been on, and I'm not going backwards. And I'm always keep going forward. And this is an indication for the power of the energy healing and to inspire you to always not lose hope. Before I reached the master level of energy healing, it took me 40 years, 41 years, right? From 1978 to 2019, 41 years, right? It took me to reach that level. I didn't give up. I was consistent and always practicing, and moving ahead. Don't lose hope. And I wasn't like intent to reach the master level, but I know I have to keep improving, right? I only worked on improving, and one fine day, I reached the level, right? And a lot of people, the mistake they make in this field, of meditation and yoga science, and even in the careers and so forth, I've done everything and it's not working, right? If it's important enough for you, this is your life, right? Your wellness, your overall wellness, you like your fitness exercise, do your exercise, have your, say, no, it's like, it's not really helping me and so forth. No, you know, be patient and keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. That's I love that saying. Keep on keeping on, and I just keep on keeping on and doing it. And I'm not trying to get the goal. I'm not stressed because it's either going to happen or not happen. All I can do is within the time frame that I have and what I can dedicate. I'm doing on a daily basis my practices, and I'm flexible, right? Sometimes I'm doing, a lesser amount of time and more. I don't want to mention the time periods that I spend in these things and frighten people. But you can do like at least 5 minutes per day. That's the protocol I developed. Visit my website, yogawellness786.com, and download the free 5 minute yoga and meditation program, right? That I developed, from years of practice, and they're very effective, right? You can do from the comfort of your bed. Who can't make 5 minutes in the time? Who is so busy that you can't make 5 minutes for yourself, not for anyone else, right? It's free. I'm not charging and nothing I'm going to get from it. Only you're going to benefit from it, right? For yourself, do that. So I hope this story inspires you. So this thing took 4 minutes, to alleviate, and I feel it was something so amazing even for me. I've never removed something in 4 minutes flat before, right? And I'm so happy that my hard work in my lifetime has come where not only it's helping me but helping others, right? And I'm helping currently another patient, who's an 83-year-old woman, and I'm so confident that it's a 14-week protocol. I have to do 100 sessions, and it really drains me of my energy. And I'm very confident that she's going to recover. Usually, I have a close to 100% success rate because I'm positive and give it my all and everything, and even prepared to accept losing my life if it has to lose in order to save someone else's life. Right? I go all in, right? And massive action. I take massive action, and go all in. I'm not determined to resolve this problem for her. I am resolved, right? I didn't make a decision that I'm going to, whenever I get a patient, I don't make a decision that I'm going to, repair the problem. I am resolved that I'm going to either fix the problem or die trying, as long as the client is in, right? And usually if the client gives up hope, I can't force the client, right, to continue. But with that resolve, we can, progress a lot. And I feel so amazed and so happy that in 4 minutes flat, wow, this is really amazing, for me. And my goal is to reach one of my masters. He's on a grand master level of energy healing. He takes 1 to 2 minutes to heal cancer tumors, right? We did you get the sonograph, right? The sonograph where we can see the sonograph, the tumor, right? It was size of this, right? Size of a small coin. And we were observing it. He just came and waved his hand, you know, for about a minute or 2 minutes. And we just saw it disappearing and melting, melting, melting in the sonograph until it came to zero, right? And finished, and it was gone, right? That is grandmaster level, right? So I'm aiming to one day become grandmaster level. And of course, migraine headaches can be something very serious, and there could be it. I believe that it was psychologically based, and that's why it was so easy. Results may vary. If it was physiologically based, maybe there's something in the brain, right? A growth or something, or an aberration or a problem that will take much more, treatment protocols, to remove, and it's much more difficult and takes more time. So the results may vary with different people. So don't feel that every person will have the same result, right? But it's the first time in my life where I've done a treatment and it was done in one session in 4 minutes flat. So hope that story inspires you to uh, achieving excellence in your own fields, in whatever you are doing, even in just being you. Try to do whatever you do, with passion. Live with passion. This is the bottom line: living with passion. Tony Robbins, is my mentor. He says, resolve, make a resolve. Don't make a decision, make a resolve, right? And live with passion every day. Live, live with passion. Do things with all in, be all in everything, right? Even in the most mundane job, right? There was one time I was unemployed. Sorry for dragging along. I was unemployed and I didn't know what to do. I took on a job as a security guard, right? Because I didn't want to be, without income, right? I'm a big business person and millions, right? And there was a collapse in the market, I think during the 2008 period, and we lost all our money, lost our businesses, and I had to need to figure out a way how to build, rebuild myself. And while figuring, I need to support myself, and I worked. It's the lowest paid job, right? Where I was, where I did it at the time. It was, I don't think there was, I don't know of any lower paid job than that, right? And I worked day and involved night shift and day working very hard, 12 hours. And I was stationed at this one social services place, it was a public government place. And people were throwing papers and they just throw things everywhere, on the lawn, on the passageways and corridors and everything. And whenever I walk, I notice everything. I clean it because part of the security protocol is there must not be dirt everywhere. You must try to keep everything organized so that if something is out of place, you're going to notice, right? Because people can keep a bomb somewhere, right? Or they can, bring a weapon into the scene. So if you got less clutter, you can your observation becomes keener. So I made sure and they used to see me. They'll just throw papers and throw everywhere. The public is in line, and they won't throw. And they'll see. I'll just go and pick up and put in the bin. And when I was on duty, there was cleanliness, spick and span, no paper, no dirt lying around everywhere. And it was normally this government place was always of course there's cleaners. How much can the cleaner do, right? But wherever I went and I see something out of place, the chairs are out of place, I put it in place, and this thing, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that. I'm going to still get paid. My job is to be a security guard. If there's an emergency or something, like to take necessary protocols and contact the police, and bring keep like order and peace, in the place, and be an assistant, to the management, of the place, right? So yet I didn't have to, but I believed in living passionately, doing things passionately. So I was passionate about what I was doing, and I did everything to the T. And and whenever I went to work in any place, when I used to work, I'm self-employed for 29 years, but before that I worked for companies and so forth, right? So when I remember I was working for the Department of Justice for about 3 years, and my start time was at I think around 8 a.m., right, or quarter to 8 in the morning was the start time, and I used to report for duty by 6:30 in the morning because I didn't want to be late, and I wanted to go a little earlier. When I was a student in school, we were starting at around 8 a.m. I was around 6:30 in the morning, right, at school, right, in high school. Primary school I didn't have much choice because my parents, were taking me, and then I couldn't go on my own. And then when I was going on my own, I used to go early because I wanted to go early, just to because I wanted to put my mindset into the school, right? And prepare and be relaxed and talking, you know, because there was a group of two other friends of ours who used to come same time or a little bit early or this thing, talking to them about what I was, because I was always into philosophy and is there a God and not a God, and the person say, but can you prove it? From that young age, and always going into this and talking, because I used to be vegetarian diet that time as well, which I am now as well, but I wasn't always. Many years, the middle part of my life, I experimented with all other types of diet, carnivore diet and omnivore diet, for long periods of time, right? To see the differences and so forth. But I did things with passion, even to today when I have to go for an appointment, and so forth. I'm early. They say, why you come so early? I said, no, I don't want to be late. These are important things, right? Of course, when I have to visit someone, and I say, I'm going to come this time, to visit you, I don't pitch up, and put them in a panic, by arriving an hour or so early, right? Normally in a place where it's not going to cause inconvenience to others. So we used to learn in business that when you make an appointment, what is the right time? Is it 10 minutes before? No. Is Of course, late is not. The right time is on time. So how to be on time? We normally should be a little bit early. I take my car and I park it outside like 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes early. And I wait for the time to come like 2 minutes before, where I know it's going to take me approximately 2 minutes to walk in and knock on the door or go to the receptionist, right? And say and announce my arrival. So I try to announce my arrival like on time, right? So this is like doing things passionately and respecting other people's time. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do move hell or high water to make sure I'm going to do it. If I take on a job for healing, even if it means risking my life, say no, I'm not going to continue further because risk to my life, and I do it full. And I also got recently, I mean, I'm dealing currently with a lady that is very sick, 83-year-old woman, and I also got another terminal illness case, with stage 4 cancer, and it's very critical. He doesn't have long to live, right? His family is already, and I'm supposed to take that on, but I can't take both. So I have to take, because I took this one first, I'm not going to jump to the other one. Now, for illness where the person can't breathe, the amount that I can pay is so much less. And for saving a person's life, that's guaranteed, is so much more, that I can get. I never say no, that has got more money, I'll compromise this and go to that. No, I took on, I'll finish this and then do the next one, right? And give it my best. If I took both on, I wouldn't be able to manage, right? Because I'm a human as well. There's only so much I can do, right? It's living with passion and not putting money first, putting my principles first, what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Live with passion and be happy with life. I'm never depressed or sad. The worst things can happen to me. I would say 90% of my life was negative things and 10% was positive things, because this is normal for people to only look at the negative side. Probably, 1,000% was good. We don't appreciate that we can breathe, we are alive, we got our hands and legs, all these things we don't appreciate, and we only look at the one negative thing that happened. But from that perspective, like, I perceived that a lot of negativity came, but I was always calm and I handled what I could, and I didn't do what I couldn't do, right? So hope that story and information, motivates you and helps you. And take care of yourself always.